Hello to everyone, Vladimir Vlad, aka the Bulgarian Cowboy, and right now we're going into an MMA discussion. I'm clearly trying to predict the future of the best sport in the world, but right now, it's kind of rocked, everybody's shaken, and we are thinking about the potential possibilities of MMA, but I'm pretty much sure that there will be some major changes in the days to come, and right now we will definitely watch 2 or 3 weeks without any events, without fights and such things. So right now I'm starting to think of the potential outcomes and what will potentially happen in the world of MMA. All right, now I'll take a look at chronologically, and right now I also want to announce that I will focus more on video clips like top lists and such things because I can't stay inactive. MMA is my lifetime passion, and I will really try to keep you active. And Cage Warriors will go live today. I will give my best. I will give my best to cover the circumstances, and with all the events postponing, we will probably have a critical period, in the world of MMA. But also bare knuckle championship postponed. Last two events, BKFC 11, BKFC 12. Well, BKFC 12 was headlined by about between the former UFC standout Chris Lieben and Marcel Stamps. Yeah, it should have been hosted in Birmingham, Alabama, and right now all the events are postponed. David Feldman, BKFC president, he just doesn't want to go for that extra safety precautious measures, and that's kind of expected, because this is it's global now. This pandemic is global, and self isolation, social distancing. It's simply something that has to be done. But Cage Warriors 113, it will take place as fighter made weight in unique circumstances. Three separate veins were held to minimize people and extra health measures. So yeah, it's Cage Warriors is in the books for Friday's reshuffle show in Manchester, England, and Bartosz Fabinski versus Darren Stewart will headline the event. These are UFC fighters, but they made weight on Thursday. The vacant Cage Warriors lightweight title is on the line. The event supposed to be in London, but it was moved, as O2 Arena was shut down until further notice. So yeah, we've seen a lot of critical stuff, and all the events are postponed until the further notice. And from what I've seen, almost everything is postponed for the next 3 weeks. Cage Warriors 114 should take place just like UFC 249, and we will see, But 3 weeks without MMA, it will be tough, It will be very, very tough. Maybe it will be 1 week without the best. Maybe it will be one whole month without the best sport in the world. So I'm using this to invite you to stay united, to stay tough. We all should fight, We all should fight. We all should stay together, and we should find some other interesting stuffs in our lives, because sometimes some people got used to do nothing in their lives, and that's okay. But we got used to do something. We got used to change something, and we are ready. We are ready to roll. We are ready to adapt. And John McCarthy, he said that the promotion, he lauded the promotion, the UFC, and something. He lauded the promotion for pushing forward during the this new situation, given what it can do, help take people's minds off things. And he also thinks, in the worst case scenario, well, he thinks that there might be problems. John McCarthy, he said that someone somewhere, if he sees something happens, well, they could, they could hunt UFC legally, and that's something that makes him afraid. And yeah, bare knuckle is postponed. And the next interesting thing during these days, Dana White said that he will do his best to make UFC 249 happen on April 18th. And he touched on a wide variety of subjects, including criticism of how the past week's twists and turns were handled. And he spoke to TSN, and he is hoping that the bout between Tony and Khabib is going to take place. And he says that he has his own arena, his own production. He has everything needed to put on events, so he hopes it won't be pulled off, and UFC officially pulled plug on Barclays Center for UFC 249 venue. It will definitely not take place in New York, and it's not a good way to go, It's not a good way to go, but alright, Dana White cannot control this situation, The decision was made in accordance with guidance issued by the New York State Athletic Commission, and there are restrictions in the state of New York, and the situation is very critical. UFC will be looking forward to return to Brooklyn at the earliest opportunity, and right now, Cage Warriors 113 card. Some fights were delayed, but in the end, we've got confirmation that John Phillips versus Dushko Todorovic is not going to happen. Bartosz Fabinski and Darren Stewart will headline. Lightweight title fight between Mason Jones and Joe McColgan will also take place or so. And Michael Bisping, he criticized panic buyers, but yeah, there were some really entertaining stuff. He posted that funny picture in 40s and 2020s. So fighters are trying to stay optimistic about UFC 249. But Dana White joked that Khabib versus Tony might take place in the moon. Yeah, he was joking about that, and on April 18th. But yeah, for 3 weeks everything is going to stop, and swap in London for Manchester was kind of, I don't know. It was a good decision for us fans, but I'm worried about the fighters. I'm not gonna lie to you. I will enjoy every lovely minute of this lovely show. I will enjoy it, and I love this show. So, but this is not going to be a good way to go for maybe for fighters. This is not good. Maybe fighters will think a lot of it and so on. But right now, Khabib is interesting in fighting Tony Ferguson. He's keen on doing so. He made it clear that he values everyone's health and safety. But if he and Tony Ferguson are both healthy, he's keen on fighting Tony. People who have quarantine and sit home, they have fun. They watch fights. Fighters go to the arena. They have fun. They do their job. I think we just need maximum 100 people to make this fight. One arena and 100 healthy people around, and put a couple cameras and show this around the world, the two best lightweights of all time. Yeah, this is very important fight. And Randa Marcus, she posted a tweet that kind of worried me, and she is now in a 14 days isolation. But yeah, it's something that honestly worried me, because Randa Marcus didn't look good in Brazil. She looked like she had no power at all, because it looked like she was out of power. Her stamina looked critical, and I'm pretty much sorry because that had to happen, but sometimes we are unable to choose. We can't choose our destiny. Burns versus Woodley is not going to happen because Tyrone Woodley, Tyrone Woodley, he just uh, he just said that he was not interested in that fight. He rejected it. I mean, he later said that he accepted for that Saturday and so on. But I'll tell you one thing: Gilbert Burns never lies. Gilbert is super honest person. He has never lied to me. He helped me when I was down, and thanks to him, today some people know me in the world of MMA. So yeah, that's the reason why I have so much respect for Gilbert Burns, and believe me, he is not lying. Tyrone Woodley wanted to trade this bout for Rafael dos Anjos bout, but it ain't gonna happen, ladies and gentlemen. It simply ain't gonna happen because Rafael dos Anjos and Gilbert Burns, Gilbert Burns is right now in a better shape, and he is a very, very great fighter, a fighter who is really willing to help everybody, and he is a very, very good fighter. Gilbert is very, very good fighter and a very, very good person. He doesn't care whether you have one subscriber or thousands of subscribers or millions. He is willing to give an interview. He is willing to help. So listen to me. If Gilbert says something, that's it. He is ready to step in to fight everybody on a short notice. He is ready to change everybody. He was even ready to make history, and I want to say that he he is really a man who could have made history today because Charles Kelly holds the record for 14 days between the fights, but Gilbert could have held it with 7 days between the fights, and he was ready to go. If the UFC event wasn't postponed, Gilbert would fight for sure because that's Gilbert. He is willing to fight. He is a pure example of a great MMA fighter, super devoted, super dedicated to his goal. UFC postponed for now, UFC on ESPN Plus 29, UFC on ESPN 8, and UFC on ESPN Plus 30. White indicated that UFC 249 is still scheduled, and I hope Dana is going to make it happen. Everything is in shambles now, and people don't travel. Woodley Edwards, it was cancelled. Covington was kind of volunteering to fight Woodley, and Woodley said Covington is bluffing, and I believe that Covington was bluffing because the only guy who wasn't bluffing was Gilbert Burns because Covington said that he was just kidding. Woodley accepted the fight when Colby Covington challenged him. But the only guy who wasn't bluffing here was Gilbert Durinho Burns because he is a tough dude. He is a great dude. Burns, he was kind of in a mix for that, but unfortunately, fight was offered, but of course Gilbert said yes. He wants to fight anyway, but Tyrone, he was not interesting, and Cage Warriors, I hope it's rescued. I hope we'll have a great event. Right now, it will be tough 3 weeks. I invite you to watch the fights. I invite you to enjoy at your homes if it's possible to watch the fights and see what's going to happen next. But we have 3 next weeks without UFC and without some new major happenings and new major stuff. ONE FC is also postponed. All the sports are postponed, so we can only watch classic fights, and we can only work on the history. And I decided to make some changes to my channel because I'm forced right now. We have to adjust to the new situation. I will try to analyze movements and fighting movements from video games. That's what I will try to analyze. for sure. And yeah, I believe this will be a good way to go. And from now, after this Cage Warriors, there will be no events for 2 or 3 weeks. But I will make lists. The next list I'm planning to make is top. We'll see top 5 or top 6 MMA cat lovers, because pets are always an intriguing part of fighters' life, because many fighters have pets, and many fighters like animals. It's kind of harsh life. They have puppies, they have dogs, they have cats, or they have other exotic pets. But sometimes you need love, and you can't find it. Everybody needs love in this life, and there are many intriguing topics that we might work on, in the days to come. We will see what's going to happen. It's gonna be a tough week. If you're an avid fan of this lovely sport, we'll try to keep you entertained, but prepare for this. We will see something that has never happened in the history of UFC. We will see heavy postponings. We will see some fights that might take place without fans and so on. But better to see fights without fans than having sick fighters, and that's something that I honestly want to say is the best possible solution. I want to know. I am first. I'm the first one who's flabbergasted by this these circumstances. I'm pretty much sorry because this is happening, but it's simply out of our control, and we can't do much on this. And I will probably go for live streams. I will spend some time with fans, and because basically I can't work my other 2 jobs. I mean, all right, I can write around the internet, I can do this, and but I cannot be the soccer referee at the moment. I cannot hold private training sessions because everything is postponed. We are not allowed to go to the gym. So I will follow the UFC events. I will follow the MMA events. I'll focus more on history right now at the moment, because right now history will be something we're rooting for. I will try to know it better, and I will try to get better on this. I will try to satisfy my lovely fans, because there is a difference between me and other podcasters, because I honestly love my fans. That's what makes me different compared to the other ones. I really love my fans. I have a lot of love for my fans, and that's it. I have a lot of love for the world of mixed martial arts. Please join me today. I will broadcast. I will live commentary Cage Warriors. So please join me. Let's enjoy together. Maybe, English is not my native language, but I love this sport. I love fans. I love you all, guys. And I will not leave you. I will not give up on this, because retreat is not an option. I learned from Wilson Hayes that you must sometimes accept that the help is required when you need to think positive. But if you're all alone all the time, that's not going to work for you. And I learned a very valuable lesson from him, that sometimes help is needed. And if you reject help all the time, it's not gonna go well for you. On the other side, I learned from Gilbert Burns that looking for excuses is not a good way to go. And I learned from Gilbert Burns that excuses are the worst thing you can hide behind. So when it comes to excuses, I will never hide behind anything. I will continue pushing my story. I will continue fighting and supporting my fans. And yeah, I will stay with my fans, because I love you guys. I really love you, and I really want this to go well. I want us to enjoy these hard moments, to watch the fights, to talk about MMA. to stay within this topic. That's what I want. Thank you so much. Catch you all next time. Please follow me at Cage Warriors today.